What a crazy week for loyalty rewards and credit cards in Canada. Where do I even begin? We have TD improving their flagship credit card. We have the new WestJet Rewards program launching. We have WestJet bringing out their biggest bonus again on their credit card. We have Hilton and Best Western coming out with their summer promos. That is a lot of things, and there was even a lot more. And we're going to cover some of that, or most of that, on This Week in Rewards, right here on Rewards Canada for the week of May 2nd, 2025. If you're looking to make the most of your loyalty programs and credit card rewards, you've come to the right place. This is your weekly dose of loyalty rewards, travel, and credit card happenings in Canada from Canada's original points and miles resource, Rewards Canada. A quick reminder that all the topics we covered today will have links to the articles or features below in the description. I'm your host, Patrick, and we're going to kick things off with credit cards. So this week saw the actual launch of the improved TD First Class Visa Infinite card. So this is something we've already covered way back. I think it was late January, early February when these changes were announced to the card. And these are truly positive changes. As I always say, these were enhancements, and usually in the loyalty industry, enhancements mean a devaluation or something worse, but that's not the case here. TD has up and gone and done the true enhancement to this card and made it better. So because we have covered this before and there's been a lot of coverage over the past few months, I'll go through this pretty quickly. So what do those changes entail on the card? Well, number one, the card gets airport lounge access. So it gets complimentary Visa Airport Companion membership. So that's an annual lounge membership that normally costs US $99, so it covers that for you. There's a lot of cards in Canada that do that, but it also gives you 4 free annual passes per year. So every year with your card, you're gonna get 4 free passes. That saves you US $32 because that's the entry fee for these lounges when you have that complimentary membership. If you didn't have the passes, you'd be paying US $32, and that's the rate you pay after you use up all 4 passes. The other change to the card are more accelerated earn rates. You can actually earn more points on this card now as well. So those accelerated earn rates are in public transit. You're gonna earn 6 TD rewards points for every dollar spent on public transit purchases. And then they've added streaming, digital gaming, and media purchases, and that's gonna be 4 rewards points for every dollar spent. And that one falls into an annual cap of $25,000 per year, including pre-authorized purchases, which it already had an accelerated earn rate for. I should mention public transit has an annual cap of $25,000 per year as well. And then they've added drinking establishments. So these are like bars and nightclubs that may or may not have fallen into like their restaurant category. So they're actually covering that now. And they're giving 6 points per dollar there as well. And that falls into the $25,000 annual cap that's tied in with like groceries and restaurants. Now, this card, of course, just has been made better. Nothing's been made worse, and they haven't increased the annual fee or anything like that. There are some slight increases to the interest rates, but that's across the board, across all their credit cards, and it's kind of matching just the rest of the market. Now, most of these cards are 21.99% on interest. So as long as you're not paying interest, you get all these changes at no cost to you, which is great. And I will recommend getting the card sooner than later with its current welcome bonus. It's one of the best welcome bonuses in Canada. It's up to 135,000 TD rewards points, and you pay no annual fee in the first year. You get 20,000 points when you make your first purchase, and then another 115,000 when you spend $5,000 on the card within the first 180 days, or roughly 6 months. That's not a lot of spending over 6 months. And like I said, I highly recommend getting it sooner than later. If you've been part of the Rewards Canada community for any longer period of time, you'll know exactly what I mean by that. And I have to give big kudos to TD. They remind me of Rogers from early 2024 and late 2023 because they had the cojones to actually improve their product that existing customers have. It's not just for like a new product, it's not just for new customers, it's for new or existing customers of the first class Visa cards. They aren't scared to give their customers more. It's a far cry from what Bank of Montreal, RBC, and CIBC are doing. Those other banks are launching new products so that they don't have to improve their existing products because they have such a captive audience base, or they launch partnerships that are only valuable to certain members that don't work for their entire customer base, or they devalue like Bank of Montreal tends to do out of those three the most. You've heard me talk about it in video after video after video about how Avion Rewards, RBC, they won't change Avion Rewards because they have such a captive base. CIBC that has the same thing with Aventura. We're going to talk about the next CIBC new product after this, and that, it's a perfect example of what's going on here. All right, so there's my little rant for this episode. Let's get into the next credit card news, and that is a big new welcome bonus on the WestJet RBC World Elite Mastercard. So now, with the program running with points and dollars, it is now an up to 70,000 bonus points offer on the WestJet RBC World Elite Mastercard. That matches the best ever bonus on the card, which previously was up to $700 when they ran with WestJet dollars. So these 70,000 points are available on new applications made by July 8th, 2025, and it's awarded as 30,000 bonus points on your first purchase, another 30,000 when you spend 5,000 in the first 3 months on the card, and then 10,000 points as an anniversary bonus after your first year on the card. Now remember, this card, nothing else has changed on the card with the change to WestJet other than moving from dollars to points. So instead of earning 1.5% and 2% in dollars, it earns 1.5 points and 2 points per dollar. In spending, you still get your first check bag free, you get your companion vouchers. Now it does have the updated status lift in the program, so you're now gonna get $200 of qualifying spend for every $5,000 in spending. The old one was $500 for $15,000, so you're getting more here. You get the equivalent of $600 of elite qualifying spend for every $15,000 spend. And like we've mentioned in a lot of our WestJet videos of late, is that you can now use your credit card to spend your way all the way up to platinum status if you spend a lot on your credit cards. All right, so now we have another increased welcome bonus this week, and that is a bonus of up to 7,500 Scene Plus points on the Scotiabank American Express Card. So this is Scotiabank's no-fee American Express Scene Plus card, and this is a highly underrated card, and I'll get into that in 1 second here. But let's look at the bonus. This is available until October 31st, 2025. The 7,500 points is broken down as 2,500 points when you spend at least $250 in your first 3 months on the card, and then you can earn another 5,000 points if you make $1,000 in eligible spending in those first 3 months as well. So pretty easy to earn 7,500 points. You basically have to spend $333.33, well, 34 cents in the final month, or one of those months, whichever, you know what I mean. So $1,000 in spending in those 3 months, and that bonus is yours. You may ask, why is it highly underrated? Well, it's a no-fee card that gives you up to 3% return on your spending. There are very few no-fee cards that offer that. The primary one being the Rogers Red World Elite, and that gives you 3% when you redeem towards Rogers products. So you have to be a Rogers customer. This card, you don't have to be, a specific customer or anything, but it is Scene Plus, of course. But you earn 3 Scene Plus points per dollar spent at their grocery stores. So Sobeys, Safeway, IGA, Foodland, Freshco, those type of things. So that's a 3% return on spending when you redeem towards travel or towards redemptions at any Scene Plus partners. Then it earns like 2 points per dollar on all other grocery, restaurants, fast food. What do I have here? Movies, theater, ticket agencies, you name it. There's a lot of 2 times categories. So that's a 2% return. And then it earns 1 point per dollar on all other spending. So it's a 1 to 3% card with no annual fee. Very highly underrated. You can actually rack up quite a few points on this card, especially if you're a Sobeys, Safeway, and other Scene Plus grocery store shopper. So next up in credit cards, we have a new credit card that was introduced this week, and that is the CIBC Adapta Mastercard. So this card has a very innovative new feature that I don't think I've ever seen on a credit card before, at least not in Canada. I don't know if it's even available anywhere globally, something like this. So it could be an initial innovative feature from CIBC. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments below if you've seen anybody else do this outside of Canada. But basically what they're gonna do with the Adapta card is that it adapts to your monthly spending and it rewards you with the highest earn rates on the top 3 categories of spending for that month. So it's gonna adapt every month. So you're not limited to certain categories like some cards. So basically they have a dozen categories, and from those dozen categories, whichever of them you spend the most in each month, you're gonna earn the highest earn rates. And it just adapts every month for you. You don't have to worry about, running with multiple cards and things like that to maximize this area, that area. It all looks good and sounds good on paper, but let's actually look and see whether it's actually a valuable offer. So first things first, the card is a no-fee card. There's no annual fee to it. So the minimum income for this new card is only $15,000 for a household. But if you have a higher income, like $50,000 individual or $80,000 household, you may be offered the World Mastercard version of this card, which I believe will also be no fee. I couldn't really find details on it, but chances are it's going to be like their CIBC Costco World Mastercard, which is only offered to those who have the higher income. Basically, it's the same card, but then they offer more insurance on it, and it'll probably have things like Mastercard Travel Pass by Dragon Pass, which you find on most or all World Mastercards in Canada. So the welcome bonus on this card is up to 6,000 Adapta points, because that's what they call them, Adapta points. You get 3,000 after your first purchase, and then another 3,000 when you spend $1,000 within the first 4 months. Now, the card earns 1.5 points per dollar spent in those top 3 of the 12 categories, and then 1 point per dollar on all other spending. So those categories are grocery and drug stores, pet stores, dining and drinks, gas and EV, transit and parking, entertainment, e-games and subscriptions, home improvement, electronics, clothing, which is interesting because I don't think I've seen that before. Health and beauty, I don't think I've seen that before either, even though I've pushed credit card issuers in the past to put accelerators for things like spas, yoga studios, things like that. And then also hotels and motels. So now what you have to do when you look at those earn rates of 1 to 1.5 points, you always have to ask yourself, well, what are they worth? So 1,500 Adapta points can be redeemed for $10 towards a statement credit on your credit card balance, or you can use 1,200 points to get $10 towards an eligible CIBC financial product. So like RRSPs, things like that. So 1,500 points at $10 puts the point value at 0.67 cents per point. Multiply that by the 1 to 1.5 cents you earn, and you have a return on spending of 0.67% up to 1%. So this is a maximum 1% cashback card. 0.67 on your base earn rates, you get 1%. In general, that's a pretty weak offering. You can easily just go get yourself a 1% card and just earn 1% on all your spending and not even have to worry about which 3 categories you're earning the most, and you can earn 1% on everything. So kind of weak there. The 0.67 actually isn't bad for a no-fee cashback card, but given that there's cards out there, the best ones do offer 1% on everything, or at least your base earn. Like just that Scotiabank American Express I was just talking about, that's a 1 to 3% card. You're gonna earn a lot more on that card than you can with this card. So these are things you have to take into consideration. You have to look at the earn to burn ratio of the cards. 1 to 1.5 points, sure, might look okay, but when you look at the redemption rate, it drops it quite a bit. When you do the CIBC financial products, a little bit better. You're getting 0.83 to 1.25% return on spending. If you want a 1.25% return, get yourself the Simply Cash Back card from American Express, their no-fee version, 1.25% on all categories, and then accelerated earn rates in selected categories above that. So always compare other card options because you can earn more. You have something like the Rogers Red Mastercard. That's a straight 1% card, earns more if you're a Rogers customer. That's what I have to say about this card. Well, I'll wait. Let me tell you. So there's benefits and insurance on the card. So it comes with a decent benefit, and that is Auto Club membership. So it has Dominion Automobile Association membership. It's worth $50 and it comes free. So that's like battery boosting, gas delivery, towing, and more. Also includes purchase protection and extended warranty insurance coverage. It's the first card also to be like touch sensitive. So people who are visually impaired can feel the card better than any other card in their wallet. So that's kind of a cool feature that they added to this card. But in general, like I said, I think I said this earlier in the video, a lot of cards are now coming out. They're more marketing gimmicks or marketing ploys than actually being a good value proposition. And that's what this card is. Again, I was all over social media when this launched, like on LinkedIn, on Facebook and all that it's such an innovative idea in terms of a credit card to have these adaptable earn rates that you don't have to worry about. It just adapts to your top spending and you're gonna earn those top earn rates, but the earn to burn ratio of this card is weak. So that to me is just a marketing gimmick to have it adaptable. It's not actually providing more value to the consumer. It reminds me, this is also what I put on social media, it reminds me a lot of BMO's Eclipse Rise Visa card. A lot of marketing fluff around a card that just actually isn't very good. And that right now, this card, I wouldn't say it's the worst in the market. It's definitely not the best. It's kind of middle of the road. It's average. So please do your comparisons when you see this card and compare it to other cards, because chances are you're going to be rewarded better with other card options. Now, the last thing in credit cards today, there is one more welcome bonus to let you know about, and that is on the Triangle Mastercard. So these are from Canadian Tire, Canadian Tire Financial Services. They have a new $150 CT money bonus on their cards when you apply for them by May 31st and then make your first purchase within the first 30 days at one of their participating stores, whether it's Canadian Tire, Mark's, Party City, or the likes of those different brands that they have within the Triangle program. Now let's pause for a message from our sponsor. This episode of This Week in Rewards is proudly brought to you by Saily. Saily is a new eSIM service brought to you by Nord Security, who are famous for their NordVPN service. Canada is famous, or should I say infamous, for having some of the highest costs for mobile services, and this extends beyond our borders when using your Canadian provider while traveling abroad. Using an eSIM service is a great way to save on those excessive fees, and Saily provides affordable eSIM services in over 160 countries and 8 regions. With a Saily eSIM, you'll always have a connection when needed, and you won't have to worry about high fees or needing to search out a cafe or hotel with a poor Wi-Fi connection, nor do you have to worry about carrying multiple SIM cards and fumbling about to switch them over. You'll save yourself time at the airport or train station, as you won't have to go buy yourself a local card. With Saily, all you have to do is download their app and then pick the plan that works for you, and you can save 15% with our exclusive discount code REWARDSCanada. It can be for a single country like the US, an entire region like Europe, or you can even go for a global plan. The plans range from 1 day to an entire year and provide 5 to 20 gigabytes of data. The Saily app will guide you through the process to set up your eSIM, including activation, but you don't have to worry about losing time or data, as it only turns on automatically once you have landed at your destination. For our listeners and viewers, you can get that exclusive 15% discount on Saily eSIM data by downloading the Saily app and using code REWARDSCanada, all one word, lowercase, REWARDSCanada, at checkout, or go to saily.com/rewardscanada to have the code automatically applied. Before we continue to loyalty rewards and travel news, if you like today's video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel if you don't do so yet, hit that notification bell so you're notified when we do post new videos, share the video with friends, family, coworkers, anybody who you think can benefit from the topics we cover in our videos, and leave us a comment below, whether it's a question, a clarification, a correction, or if you just want to say hi. We do love getting your comments and we try to respond to them all. All right, now we're going into loyalty rewards and travel. And of course, this was the biggest news this whole week, and that was the launch of the new WestJet Rewards program. But guess what? I'm not really going to talk about it much because we already have 3 videos covering the program changes. The first video came out late last fall. Then we had another video earlier this year when all the changes were announced. And then we had our podcast interview with the VP of Loyalty from WestJet. So I'm going to link to our latest video right here, and I'll put links to the other 2 videos in the description below. You can check them out because we have full in-depth coverage between all 3 of those videos that really cover everything head to toe for the new WestJet Rewards program. Next, we have Air France-KLM's Flying Blue promo rewards for May, and again, we have a Canadian city, and once again, it is Montreal, but this time it is for business class. So they are offering 25% off business class reward flights out of Montreal to Europe, North Africa, and Turkey. So that means instead of 60,000 miles one way, these will start at 45,000 miles one way. We did find some decent availability, especially during the height of summer, July, August, September. I checked like Amsterdam, Nice, Algiers. I think I also saw Prague and Warsaw. So there are a lot of cities there where you can get this for 45,000 miles one way. That's 90,000 round trip. An amazing deal still, even though Air France did increase these earlier this year. You know, they bumped up that minimum rate to 60,000, so with 25% off at 45,000. That's better than you're going to get with any program in Canada. You know, you're looking at 120,000 membership rewards points because you can transfer Amex membership rewards points to Air France-KLM. It's a 1 to 0.75 ratio, so 120,000 will get you the 90,000 miles you need for this. That's better than Amex's own fixed points for travel chart. That's better than most Aeroplan rewards in business class. It's better than most programs business class. Probably the closest would be British Airways Executive Club with their Avios program. But again, this is such a good redemption option. You know, if you have the American Express Cobalt card, $24,000 in spending on eats and drinks at 5 times points gets you that 120,000 membership rewards points for this redemption. No other card in Canada is going to give you a round trip business class flight for only $24,000 in spending. All right, now we're going to jump into a travel news, and that is Air Canada has launched their fast free in-flight Wi-Fi that took off earlier this week. It is complimentary to Aeroplan members, so if you're not an Aeroplan member yet, be sure to join before you have your Air Canada flight. You can even join at the gate before you board the plane. As long as you're an Aeroplan member, you'll get the free Wi-Fi. It can be found on Air Canada Rouge, and select Air Canada Express equipped aircraft for flights within North America and also to sun destinations. They're also working on installing it on their Q400 suite, and it's also being worked on their E175 fleet. They're hoping to have their entire fleet covered by 2026, and that's also, they're gonna have the free Wi-Fi expanded to their international flights by 2026 as well. So they really a big jump ahead for Air Canada. I know WestJet started launching their new fast free Wi-Fi with TELUS and Starlink earlier this year, but it's kind of a slower rollout, whereas Air Canada really jumped on this, and as of May 1st, 88% of their fleet was offering this fast free Wi-Fi. So a really good move on Air Canada's part. All right, so that brings us to the bonus blast, and this is where we highlight some of the bonus points miles offers we've posted to Rewards Canada over the past week. We quickly go through these. We post a lot of bonuses during the week, so we just pick out kind of the highlights. And as I mentioned at the start of the video, the big ones are the summer promotions from Hilton and Best Western. So with Hilton, you're going to earn 1,000 bonus honors points for every stay in Canada and their hotels worldwide. All you have to do is register and book now for stays starting June 1st, and this runs through till August 15th. It's kind of a shorter period for Hilton. And what is also interesting is they're taking a month off from not having any bonuses. Normally they stack these one after the other. You can go 365 days a year with earning bonuses from Hilton, and that's not the case this year. The month of May, we don't have an overall system-wide bonus from Hilton. So this one you can go, you can book now, you can register now. Thank you to anybody who books through our links. We do earn commissions from Hilton. That is how you support Rewards Canada. Same with all the credit card offers. If you apply through Rewards Canada, you're helping support the YouTube channel, to support our website for bringing you guys the best and utmost in free content of loyalty and credit cards in Canada. And that brings us into Best Western's summer promotion. So they are offering 10,000 bonus points for every 3 nights you stay between May 12th and September 1st. So basically that's what, 3,333 points per night. They don't have to be consecutive. It doesn't have to be a 3-night stay. It can be 3 separate nights, or one night and 1 2-night stay, you name it, 3 1-night stays. This is valid in Canada and many other regions in the world. You do have to register separately per region, but that means you can also earn the bonus separately per region. So our region is Canada, the US, and the Caribbean islands, so it's every 3 nights there. There's a maximum bonus of 20,000 points per region, so 6 nights per region, except in Asia, the Asian countries, their promotion, they're only giving 5,000 bonus points for every 3 nights. So you actually have to stay 12 nights to get the full 20,000 points there. Registration and booking is now open as well. Same thing with Hilton. We do earn commissions on Best Western. So thank you to everybody who does book via our link below. So next bonus, we're going back to WestJet. They're giving 500 bonus points when you join WestJet Rewards. So if you're not a member yet, which I don't know how many people aren't members, but I'm sure there's a few million of you who aren't, when you join WestJet Rewards and take your first flight, you're going to get 500 bonus points. Yeah, that's only $5, but hey, that's 500 more points than you would have if you didn't join and take your first flight. So it's an additional $5, $5 free. What the heck? Might as well take it. Right now, this is an open-ended promotion. It doesn't say that there's a certain time you need to join by, and it also doesn't have a certain time that you need to fly by. Most first flight bonuses require you to fly within like 90 days or 6 months from other airlines that offer this. There aren't many in North America that offer it. It's more so airlines in Asia that offer these first flight bonuses, some African airlines as well. But there is one Canadian airline that does, and that's Porter, and they also offer 500 bonus points on their first flight. Same thing, open-ended. It doesn't have, I think, any time stipulations to it. So this one's very similar to Porter's bonus. And the last bonus we're going to look at, it connects back to Air France. We talked about their Flying Blue promo rewards. If you need a few more miles there, you can receive double miles when you convert choice privileges, so choice hotels, when you convert their points over to Air France KLM Flying Blue miles. So this offer is good until May 31st. And instead of receiving 1,000 miles for every 5,000 choice privileges points, you're going to get 2,000 miles for every 5,000 choice privileges points. Pretty simple. You just make that conversion and you will have those extra miles. I might actually jump on this because I have choice privileges points that are sitting there, are doing nothing. I actually kept my account alive by, I think, transferring some to Aeroplan last year. So I may have to look at moving some of those points over during this promotion and stack up my Flying Blue balance, because I don't use choice privileges. I haven't stayed with one of their hotels for, gosh, it's got to be, I think it was before COVID. So it's been a long time and those points are just sitting there. I will use them up. So that's what these kind of bonuses are good. You know, usually hotel points are best used for hotels, but if you're sitting on some that you think you're not going to use, at least in the next, couple of years, these transfer bonuses make sense if you can transfer them into a program you're using. Don't transfer them to Air France Flying Blue if you're not going to be using Flying Blue at all. If you are a Flying Blue user, then consider transferring. And as always, be sure to always check out the Rewards Canada bonus offers section before you book any flights, hotels, car rentals, you name it, because so many people are leaving points and miles on the table. They're earning just the minimum amount of points or miles when they could be earning thousands more, earning free nights, you name it. The link is on the screen if you don't know how to find it. I'll link to it in the description below. And that's all she wrote for this week. Be sure to check out rewardscanada.ca on a daily basis if you can, our social media on a daily basis, because we are posting so much. Like I said, this past week was insanely crazy with so much loyalty news. I think I've covered only a third of it here in the video, probably even less than a third, and there's going to be even way more coming this weekend. I am so backlogged. I'm going to cover as much as I can. I'll try to get through as much as I can as soon as I can. So we're going to cover lots more next week as well. So that is why you want to be checking out the website as much as you can, because there is so much out there. But if you can't check us out on a daily basis, at the very least, be sure to subscribe to our newsletter, because we do cover everything in the newsletter. We round it all up into our Friday newsletter, and then all the bonus miles and points offers are rounded up in Saturday's bonus bulletin. That is your ticket to more miles, more points, and more rewards. Thank you everybody for tuning in this week. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.